nose is greasy. Hold on. Let me fix this. If I can. I literally just got out of bed. I was lying there for over an hour. And I just had a fast food breakfast, so it's no wonder I look like crap. Just wearing an old hat of mine. Fuck. Hold on. Yeah, I purposely decided not to look my best for this clip because it's about to get brutally honest in here. I have to tell this story, or I'm just going to keep carrying it around with me, and that is the last thing that I want to do. I literally just want to get this broken record out of my head and never overanalyze it ever again, really. So I'm just gonna summarize all the not so nice stuff that have happened in the latter part of my youth. So yeah, basically you name it, I went through it. Any not so exciting, disappointing experience that you can imagine can happen to a teenager. I practically went through it all, well, almost all of it, but yeah, I honestly consider my teenage years probably some of the worst teenage years that has happened. I guess you could say to privileged kids anyway. So where do I start? So obviously, you know, laughed at for how I look, you know, particularly my weight, how my eyes are. I've been segregated by people that grew up in the same culture as me. They just always have to ask me if I'm not them, basically. And I felt almost like accused of lying or something because I don't really have a reason to lie to them. I'm just like, okay, I'm like you. I just came out this way and I may not be able to trace it. And honestly, why should I owe you an explanation? But yeah, so apparently, yeah, segregation was a very common thing for me. It wouldn't escalate to bullying per se, but it would always just be a very uncomfortable interrogation, so to speak. It was just like, why are we having this conversation? I always hated that. Yeah, I've been compared to my better looking family counterparts, and I would always be told that I was the one with the good heart, but they were the ones with the good looks, and obviously that's not fun, right? Being like a younger sibling, or a younger cousin, and then just like, yeah, just always feeling like crap compared to the rest of my family, and on top of it all, like, Just the same repercussions that I had as a little kid, where I would be consistently reminded that I'm not very competent at anything, not even intellectually. I just never had that either. Yeah, any stereotypical talent that you can think of, like, I didn't have any of it. And yeah, any opportunity that I acquired, it was always by luck. And I would consistently have friends who, weren't very high up on the social ladder, but they knew quite a few people. And I have a feeling that they were also friends with me because they didn't want to feel as much of a loser as they are with their other friends who are higher up in the social ranking. So that was hard. Yeah, I think I pretty much told you guys similar stuff like this before, where it's just like, I would try to chase after a dream, it would get shot down. I would get regularly rejected for auditions. I would get regularly rejected in the love department, and one of my so-called friends, she said, like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to prom together because we can't get dates. And this is the same person who claimed that I was like her first priority, whatever. And I just sat there in front of our friends, thinking to myself, well, your true colors are showing. But don't worry, I didn't go with her. I did not go with her. I did not go with anybody. I was just like, yeah, I would get friend zoned and shit. But honestly, looking back, I'm kind of grateful that I was, because the thing was, I was tempted to use these people the way that they inevitably used me. So it's just like, okay, I guess karma's a bitch to me in particular. What else? Yeah, that basically sums up everything. I would just get bullied probably more intensely than I've ever bullied anybody as a little kid, and it's just like, wow. And just to wrap it all up in a nice little package, I would have even adults who are supposed to, set you up for success in the real world, like, they slandered me so hard. They like painted me out almost like a rapist or like a serial killer, and I like done none of those things. And the ironic thing is that, like, you don't have to feel sorry for me, because I know that the majority of people who ever encounter me, like, never will feel sorry for me. It's just like, I would always try to seek out help, and the most consistent message out of all of my friends, out of all of my support network, out of all of my mentors, would be, just get over it. That's pretty much all that they would say. And the funny thing is that they would ask me things like, oh, why are you still hanging on to this? And me, being known as the nice one, because that's the only asset that I've ever had, I wouldn't know what to answer. But I knew in the back of my head, it was just like, well, it's because you didn't. And then I didn't get the help that I don't even know the answers to. I don't even know the solutions. Like, I didn't get it before. I'm hoping you have it now. You know what I mean? I was just thinking to myself, I can't figure this out by myself. I can't heal by myself. That's why I'm making this video. Believe me or not, I don't care, but I've been molested in the latter part of my youth. And it was such a smack in the face when my prettier best friend in sophomore year, we would have like a classmate who would be like playing with her hair, and she would have police protection to guard her after that. And meanwhile, I tell who was supposed to be my close guy friend, he was supposed to protect me, but he didn't. I was telling him that same year that our mutual friend was touching me in a way that I wasn't ready for. And basically all he had to say to me was that he was growing up and that I should just take it easy on him. I feel very strongly that was a pivotal moment where my sense of sexuality, my sense of empowerment as an individual, as a female, it just went south from there. I know that it's too late to find help because, I've been quiet for a while about it. And the funny thing is, that wasn't the last person who molested me. I've been molested by a boyfriend of mine, following him. Yeah, maybe like 2 boyfriends after him. Yeah, and I couldn't figure out why I wasn't attached to this other guy who was like, I'm pretty sure he wasn't aware of what he was doing, like, because I thought, like, while I was, like, talking to him that I was ready to get into that kind of activity, only to find out that when we met up that I wasn't. And I just made up a shitty excuse as to why I couldn't go through with it, saying, oh yeah, I'm just grieving over somebody. But I do still respect this one boyfriend that I'm talking about, because at least he sincerely apologized, like, hey, I hope I wasn't moving too fast for you, Yeah, it was just different guys leading up to this year. Again, like a similar situation this year where it's just like I thought, maybe me sleeping with somebody or me just like hanging out with somebody will help me get over the last guy that touched me. I keep thinking that me allowing someone to touch me will help me get over the rejection before that, and it just like keeps cycling like that, like rejection fondled by somebody else, rejection fondled by somebody else. It just keeps going around and around. That was like a big reason why I decided, like, you know what, maybe I should stop dating. But I get lonely and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do because it's just rejection is all I know. Even my family, like, associates me with it, and they can't imagine me being in love, honestly. They can't imagine me going for my dreams all the way, because when I try, practicing, honing my skills at home, even if it's just goofy, it's just like to a degree, I know that they're uncomfortable with it, and it's just like I acknowledge, okay, I'm never going to be as great as you guys. I'm never going to be as loved as you guys, but I'm trying to give myself a fighting chance. And the fact that even my own family, they also segregate me, with my eyes and all. I'm the only one who doesn't have eyelids or round eyes, and this is like partially why I hate going to family parties now. I always try my best to say no. I know that they don't miss me. I know they don't love me. I'm so used to being unloved, especially like with people outside my immediate circles. I'm so used to it that like I can't even cry anymore. My eyes are literally dry. Like moments where like I catch myself thinking like, oh my god, I'm gonna tear up, oh my god. And it's just like I'm so used to all of it. I can't grieve properly. And I know for a fact that most, if not all, the therapists I've ever talked to believe I'm making this shit up and I'm just asking for attention, but it's just like there's a reason why I'm asking for it. Because I don't know what healthy attention is. I don't. I want to apologize to anyone who has ever loved me to a degree that I can't give it all the way, because it's just like it has nothing to do with you, really. Like even the people who ended up even that like guy friend in particular who, I thought was going to protect me, but he just ended up using me too. I'm still sorry to him too, even though he did that to me. Even though he humiliated me in front of the entire school. I'm still sorry to him for what I've done to him as a kid. Because I can understand like why that rejection would, just teach you to reject other people, even people that you used to love. Like I get it. And I'm sorry to the man that I met online. I'm sorry that I couldn't make you happy. I'm sorry that I'm not the kind of girl that you can show off to the world. I'm sorry to everyone who I can't impress. I'm sorry. I apologize to everyone who I can't make proud. Even though I never asked for this responsibility to make you happy, I'm sorry, it's not my job. It's not. I'm sorry to the teachers who loved me like I was their daughter. I'm sorry I couldn't be that perfect little girl for you. I'm sorry I couldn't just be good. I never knew how to be good, and for some reason I had that expectation. I can't make anyone happy. I don't know how to keep friends. I don't know how to be happy. I hope this clarifies anything for people who are just like confused about why I would just like have tantrums and act demonic and shit. I was never treated like a human being. That's all I can give you. That's all the explanation I can offer, because that's the truth. I was a tool for a lot of my life, but it's time to put that to a stop. Just being on this website, it's like almost like kind of like my, I guess I'd like to call it like my human rehab, where I try to figure out what it means to be a real functioning person. Again, to anybody who's ever known me to some degree, even if it's just at face value, like, you can take this video with a grain of salt, but I figured I'd share my experience with the younger people who might see this. I guess all the suggestion that I have for like those younger kids who might be watching this: try to find a place or a group of people where you can be yourself without question. You can be safe without question. Even if you have to, like, even if you have to make a public scene, like, do it, like, scream for help. But yeah, just do whatever you can to not be in private, because once that happens, it's like that gives people the incentive not to believe you because they didn't see what you've been through. So please, like, try to stay in public. Especially like when it comes to like dating and stuff, and like being with friends, so that like other people can witness, like, if you know you're being mistreated or disrespected, whatever, you know, do what I didn't do. I thought I was gonna be mad for this video. I thought I was gonna be demanding an apology, but for some reason, like, when I'm alone, I'm so angry. But then once I start thinking about talking to somebody else or talking to someone else, there's always this feeling that everything is my fault. Some days I believe that, some days I don't. It makes no sense, but that's how it is every day for me. And I'm hoping that I can help at least one person to not forsake the light that they have inside, to not dim it out. You don't have to live in somebody's shadow. You don't have to live in somebody's web of lies just to not be in trouble. Please, for the love of God, be a rebel and tell your truth, and don't let anybody tell your story but you.